Hi Instagrammers, hi Facebookers, hi YouTubers, how are you? Now this is a bit different, isn't it? In this different, I have the co-founders of Trans Pride Southampton with me, Mabel and Sam. And Lucy, who with myself is part of the Trans Pride Collective, as I like to call it in Southampton, is behind the camera operating it. You'd like to say anything, Lucy? Just say hi.
Hello everybody, hope you're doing well.
There's Lucy. So, I've got some questions. This is all about what is happening on the 16th of September 2023 in Southampton. And so I'm going to talk to Mabel and Sam about, ask them a few questions and we'll take it from there. So this is a bit different. We're going to try this, see how it goes. So, girls, how long has Trans Pride existed in Southampton? And how long has it been going for? And what was it like in previous years?
So officially the first Transgender Pride event was last year, 2022. That was organised with People's Pride Southampton. But before that though, you could say that Trans Pride did still exist, because it's not like we're living in a vacuum. We were aware, of course, of other cities having transgender prides. It's something that we would display in our pride events, such as Part in the Park and Southampton Pride.
Yeah.
So really Trans Pride has existed for decades. It's just that we've been able to get the event made and start having that to fully showcase it.
Sam?
That's it, I think, yeah.
Okay. And why do you think we need a Trans Pride when we already have Pride, like we've had in Southampton on Saturday just gone on the 26th?
Do you want to do that one?
I forgot the question.
Why do you think we need a Trans Pride?
Well, purely on the factor that trans people, of course, have been sort of left behind in some ways, as well as we're fighting a lot of the time to be able to try and get our basic rights to be able to, of course, be ourselves. So obviously there needs to be some form of fight. Obviously, when we're working with like Southampton Pride or People's Pride, whoever else, in our cities and everything, other than doing our own event, it's good to have our representation there. But it's also good to have our own event to be able to show who we are, explain to people and educate people on how trans people are somewhat hurt in the community or outside the community, more or less, and hopefully that should give awareness to be able to then not have a Trans Pride Southampton in the future, or Trans Pride in the UK really in the future, because everyone is okay, everyone is happy, everyone is protected, and that's the future goal.
So you think Trans Prides are needed, especially in the light of politics in this country?
Yes, yeah, especially as politics, a lot of the time they use it to, a lot of the time politics, like, oh, we'll help the trans community and do all this, and then they turn around to do the opposite. They harm us and they shun us away and try and say that we're trying to do weird things that we're obviously not, and it's just the case that we're trying to be ourselves.
I don't think there's been a time ever more than the present where being trans has been as political as it is right now. We are in the golden era of trans politics, really. There's people saying that trans rights are human rights to get a few votes. There's people saying that they're anti-woke, they're on the war against woke to win some votes, and there's people saying a bit of both to completely backstab us at the end of the day there. You could really scale it back to maybe the 80s or before then, where you wouldn't really know what the word transgender meant unless you... Well, I wouldn't even know really, but you wouldn't know what the word transgender meant in the mainstream media at all. But in the past decade or two, it's went from something that we've learnt about, something that's been in a documentary here and there, to this completely controversial topic where you can attack trans people, where you can pretend that you're defending trans people, and yeah, there's not been a time like it really. So transgender pride has to stay political, not with a party, but it has to be political in our own self-representation.
Because we've been politicised.
Yes.
Yeah. What are the plans for the day that's going to take place on the 16th of September? What are the plans for the day? What's the route of the march? Where are you starting from? What do you hope will come of the day?
So, on the 16th of September, the assembly of the march is going to start from 12. So from 12 at noon, and that's going to start at the bar gates. From around 12:30, that's when we're planning to begin our procession. So that's going to go up above Bar Street, crossing the junction where the KFC is, and then continuing up above Bar Street, turning onto Commercial Road to then enter Watts Park. So we'd be aiming to get to Watts Park for the Trans Pride event itself for about 1 o'clock. And that's where we'll have our speeches and just a casual picnic once the speeches are done.
Okay, that sounds good.
And it's there's no food trucks or anything. We've been asked a few times actually.
Yeah.
Is there going to be food trucks? Is there going to be stalls? Things like that. This year we only had 2 months to really plan this because we sort of left our previous organisers and things, and we had to sort of start out on our own. So we haven't had time to be able to obviously get food stalls or food vans or anything like that. In the future we may do that, but for this year it's definitely not happening.
So it's kind of organic, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just a very basic march, speeches, and then you can just hang out with us and get to know us as people as well as everyone else, and we'll hope to try and create a safe space in the park for everyone throughout the hour or so that people will probably want to stay around afterwards.
Okay then, Sam. Well, this leads on to my kind of final question. What do you think the future of Trans Pride in Southampton is, and where do you think it'll go?
So we've been discussing about what we actually want to do for Trans Pride in the future. We don't want to do a one event thing and turn around and just do, hey, Trans Pride 2024 and 2025. Obviously we're most likely going to need that, and that's one of the things that we do want to do. We don't want to back down and go, hey, we're just going to do the exact same thing each year and just do a very basic protest march and things. We do want to grow it. But we also do want to try and help the community. We want to go in and, if we can, possibly go into certain venues and things and go, this is how you can make it a little bit more friendly towards trans people, and get us in, and we'll then in turn turn around and say it's a trans safe space on our website, because I manage the website, and we'll hopefully have those sorts of things, as well as support groups and stuff, especially as there is support in Southampton for trans youth as well as trans adults, and it would be good to have those resources in a place that someone can easily go to, as well as we can redirect people to them as we learn about them ourselves, because we're always learning. One thing that we have said about is other ways of being able to possibly fuel these events, and as well as just what else we can do throughout the year. We're currently doing a buy me a coffee on our leaflet, as well as for our socials and stuff. We do a buy me a coffee that is just a donation basis at the current moment, so it's the case of whatever you want to spend. If you want to spend £1, if you want to spend 50 quid, you can. Some of our top donations has been 86 quid.
Could you just angle the flyer up a little bit so it's sort of vertical?
There you go.
Thank you, Lucy.
I can always send you a screenshot of it. So
Yeah.
But it's the case of, obviously, the event is, we're currently fuel it from this, so the main thing that we've spent all of this on at the moment is, of course, flyers. What cost us about 50 quid to be able to do, and we hope to possibly do things like some stuff like the flags and stuff, like you can purchase them on our website, we can bring them to you or whatever.
Yeah, that's really where it's going in terms of an organisation.
Yeah, we also have possible plans of doing day events where we just sort of go do something.
Like the beach meet.
Like the beach meet that we've done, so we've actually been asked to do that a few more times actually, and that should be really good. We're going to do small little events throughout the year, but we also want to do things to, of course, generate money to be able to then, of course, bring out a better Trans Pride in the upcoming years, as well as use it for the trans community as much as possible, including through making sure that if we do stalls and things like that next year, we make sure that we have security, especially as if we do have anyone that actually comes up and starts harassing anyone, we want to be able to de-escalate those situations and, of course, get them away, or at least get them calmer, or at least understand, or whatever we can do, just so that we can make it a safe environment for everyone.
So it's going to be a very small event this year, but we do hope to grow it, and with growing the event, of course, we're going to really focus on both safety and accessibility.
Brilliant. Wow. What a lot of people don't know is that now Trans Pride, I'd say, is established after last year, would you say, in the city? it means that in Southampton there are 3 Pride events during the course of the year, which is very rare for a city outside of New York. I think New York is the only city in the world that has 3 Prides. So Southampton has 3 Prides, and I think that is fantastic for the community. And I may have said this before, but the community, as we all 4 of us know, is makes up 10%, over 10% of the population of Southampton. It's the largest demographic in the city, and to have those 3 Pride events must be very important for the community, I think.
I think so too. Yeah, especially with the fact we've got 2 universities, so we're always getting influxes of younger people who need to find their place in their community. Yeah.
Thank you, Mabel and Sam. It's been brilliant. Don't forget that is Saturday, the 16th of September 2023. I hope this has been all right. I hope it comes across all right. Please like, share and subscribe, and we will see you again soon. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.